Writing a novel is like buying a car, thanks to a very reasonable loan, and taking that car on a long trip and feeling this sense of peace that you're heading somewhere, but you're not there yet. The world is so open. You might not even arrive in the place that you intended, but you'll end up somewhere different from where you started. But short stories, for me, are like stealing a car, driving it as fast as you can and crashing it into a tree, knowing you are always going to do that very thing. And then you crawl out of the car, which is now mangled and smoking, and you realize that you aren't dead, that you're still alive. And you look at the car, and it's beautiful. And you walk away. Novels have been chances for me to explore those obsessions in different ways, to see where they go, to live with them. But short stories are about relieving the pressure in my body, keeping me from breaking down. I participate in the Sewanee Young Writers Conference every summer, and it is, in my opinion, the most amazing conference for young writers, something that I cannot imagine existed when I was a teenager. The director of the conference, Elizabeth Grammer, always assigns Tunneling to the Center of the Earth as one of the books that these teenagers read. She might be single-handedly responsible for 80% of the sales of this collection. And every summer I read it to the students, and I answer questions. And it's such a strange sensation to talk about these stories, written when I wasn't much older than they are, trying to remember what I was thinking when I wrote them. Sometimes it's hard for me to adequately answer the questions because I don't fully remember the mechanics of the stories, or why I made the choices I made. All I can remember is that feeling, riding the story towards something that would keep me alive, no matter how improbable that seemed. All I can remember is the joy I felt, about to crash, knowing that this time I would survive it.
Grand stand-in. The key to this job is to always remember that you aren't replacing anyone's grandmother. You aren't trying to be a better grandmother than the first one. For all intents and purposes, you are the grandmother and always have been. And if you can do this, can provide this level of grandmotherliness with each family every time, then you can make a good career out of this. Not to say that it isn't weird sometimes, because it is. More often than not, actually, it is incredibly, undeniably weird. I never had a family of my own. I didn't get married, couldn't see the use of it. Most of my own family is gone now, and the ones that are still around, I don't see anymore. To most people, I probably look like an old maid, buying for one. And this is perfectly fine with me. I like my privacy. If I go to bed with someone, it isn't a person who has to spend his entire life with me afterward. I like the dimensions of the space I take up, and I am happy. But it's not hard to imagine what it would have been like. Husband, children, grandchildren, pictures on the mantel, visits at Christmas, a big funeral, and people who would inherit my money. You can be happy with your life and yet still see the point of one lived differently. That's why it seemed so natural when I saw this ad in the paper. Grandmothers wanted, no experience necessary. I am an employee of Grand Stand-In, a Nuclear Family Supplemental Provider. It's pretty simple. With so many new families popping up, upwardly mobile couples with new children, there is a segment of this demographic, more than you would think, who no longer have any living parents. So many of these new parents feel their children are missing out on a crucial part of their life experience, grandparents. And that's where I come in. I currently serve as a grandmother to 5 families in the Southeast. Each role is different, though I specialize in the single, still active grandmother archetype, usually the paternal grandmother, husband now deceased, quite comfortable but not rich, still pretty, fond of crafts.